Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, this is going to be a 4v4 arena between me and my viewers. This will be pretty fun. We're doing random civs this time, so this will be pretty interesting. And yeah, for those of you who are watching this live, Aoe2 HD Edition is on sale right now for a ridiculous amount. So if you're going to buy it now is the time, I'd say. Alright, cool beans. Indians, eh? Already got an Indian video, but why not? The more the merrier. Oh, with Alarun. Badass. Why are you standing around, man? Very cool. Grab the sheep. Anyway, first things first, you want to build 2 houses at the start of the game. You can build 3 if you're feeling crazy and you like to defy the meta. So yeah, so you build about 2 or 3 houses. I'd recommend 2 though, honestly. No. And then you start working on your sheep. First 6 villagers should go on sheep. You can go 7 though, again, if you're feeling crazy. So 6 or 7 on sheep. 7's if you're newer at the game and you're less comfortable. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna build a lumber camp. And I'm gonna get ahead of myself. I like to hotkey my scout to control group 1, make scouting a lot easier. Of course, you can scout with waypoints. I'm well aware of that, but this helps when you stay a little more focused. Oh, yeah, and if you miss anything from the live stream, like EB611, I will always upload the VODs on my YouTube account, so rest assured you will be just fine. Alright, so yeah, we got the standard 6 on sheep right now. Notice how I only try to harvest, yeah, I only try to harvest from 1 sheep at a time, and this is because, as we know, animals do decay when they're harvested from, so they do lose food slowly. So it's just more efficient if you're only harvesting from 1 deer, or sorry, just 1 animal, really. It applies to deer too. So I'm gonna put 3 on the lumber camp. The standard is 3 or 4, so like I said, it's just build your houses, and then you're gonna put the standard 3 or 4 villagers on a lumber camp after you put like your first 6 or 7 on sheep. This is just the standard opening for basically everything. This lady is standing around, I don't know why. I'm right next to Slumberjack. What civ is he? Mines. Oh, okay, he's on my team though. Alright, so anyway, now that I got the 3 on wood, and the 6 on sheep, next villager that I make, I'm going to research loom, and then he's going to build a house. And I'm researching loom to prep for my boar hunts. I'm going to build a house right over here too. Don't want to get housed, of course. And the reason I get loom before hunting my boar is because when I'm playing online and there's a large number of people, lag is sort of inevitable, at least some degree of it. It's usually not very serious, it's usually very mild, but if I ever lose a villager to a boar hunt due to lag, then the boar starts becoming really inefficient. You never want to lose a villager to a boar. If you can't micro well enough, I guess, to do your boar lure properly, and you lose a villager honestly while doing it, then it's generally not worth it. So you're gonna shoot the boar twice and then run them under my town center. Getting loom first is really a good way to prevent any micro mistakes. It's pretty difficult to lose your villager if you get boar first. Then I'm gonna pull the original 6 villagers off my sheep, and then get this villager out of here. The newest villagers that spawn can just go on sheep, so we can harvest this boar with 6 villagers. And the nice thing about doing the boar lure as opposed to hunting it where it actually is that my villagers don't have to walk any distance to drop off the boar meat that they're holding, which is exactly what I want. So now I've got 2 villagers on, I got 3 on sheep, 6 on this boar, 3 on this lumber camp, and once my boar is nice and underneath my town center, I'm gonna make my second Dark Age building, which is gonna be this delicious mill right here. Build it right next to the forage bushes. And yeah. I'm only going to keep 1 villager in the forage bushes though. They're not particularly efficient to harvest from. It's still a free food source, so you still want to harvest from it. But that should not be your priority. You should really be focusing on the sheep first, and the boar first. We're going to watch the boar food. Looks like right about now I should pull off one of my villagers, because the moment that your boar hits about 150 food is when you want to start the next lure. I still want to make sure that there are like 6 or so on that boar so that I'm not really wasting anything. I can do a little bit of forced drop-off action right now to keep my villager production sustained. I don't want to stop making villagers for any reason at this point in the game. A common reason that players will fall behind in their early game is because they're just not making villagers. Your town center is idle, it's sitting around, it's doing nothing good. So, okay, he's underneath the town center, this is good. It's not going to be as perfect as a boar lure, definitely, but that's okay. It's okay if you're harvesting from like 2 boars at once, but ideally you'd want the first boar to just finish at the time your second boar gets there. My boar was a little closer, so I probably could have waited until like maybe 150 food. I mean, a little less than 150 food. Alright, so this is good. And like I said, you know, every time a boar comes underneath my town center, I like to build another Dark Age building. So in this case, it's going to be the mining camp. I realize I'm focusing too much on talking, so I gotta make sure I don't get housed. Super, super easy for me. I get housed all the time when I'm playing while commentating. But anyway, not gonna happen this time. Joke's on you guys. Okay. This is good. I put 2 on the mining camp, and then yeah, I can just send these 3. Well, I should have them drop off their crap first. Oh no, they lost all their food already. That lagged though. I keep making villagers. So when the boar is done harvesting, and Jesus, that delay. The boar is done harvesting, I just split the villagers in front of the boar onto both food and sheep. Now basically what this means is that I'm gonna basically take 4 of these boar people. I can just take 4 off the sheep right now and start working on my deer. I like to work on the deer at basically the same time that. Okay, you guys got to drop that off though, or they just won't do it. Even though I tell them to. I like to start working on my deer just as the boar is finishing. What the hell are these guys doing? This direction, please. That villager pathing though. I can't wait for the pathing bug fix. It's coming really soon, so by the time you watch this, it should be fixed. I wouldn't let that deter you from if you're considering purchasing the game, because it is purely a temporary thing, but boy is it a problem though when it wants to be. Dat pathing though. Hunt the deer with 4 villagers as always. That means that your villagers, like once they won't have to walk an extra step, because if you hunt them with only 3, there'll be like 28 food left on the deer when your villagers have their arms full, so they'll have to make 2 trips, and that's just a waste of time. So we try to avoid that. Start making some farms at least. I play the Indians, so that means I can boom like nobody's business, which sounds good to me. So since I'm going for I'm gonna be going for a really, really fast castle age this time, so I'm gonna actually be hunting the deer in two villager groups. I don't normally do that unless I'm going for a really, really, really fast castle age time. Otherwise, I'd normally just hunt the deer with just 1 group of 4, and then, like I said, you know, you just split your previous boar hunters between wood and food, like 50-50. And I'm gonna try and go for like a really, really fast castle age if I can help it. We'll see how that goes. Ideally, by the time I hit 27 out of 30 population, if I time it just right, my deer hunters, yep, will be dropping off the deer meat from the first deer just as my final villager finishes creating, giving me exactly 500 food. All calculated. Wahaha! And now I immediately advance perfectly, actually. This is going exactly as I want it to. I have no problems with this. Do a little bit more scouting. So yeah, this is good. This is how you fast castle age, by the way, guys. This is basically everything you really need to know about just arena in general. Arena, you gotta fast castle age. That's what you gotta do. I mean, it goes without saying that early aggression on arena just makes no sense. You start with walls. It's the same thing in Fortress. You start with walls, and your men-at-arms and whatnot in the feudal age are just gonna do diddly squat to these walls. So just go straight to the castle age, guys. We're going for fast castle age. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I'll do the best I can to answer them. And I'm gonna show you guys how to play some arena. So, the first thing that I'm going to do when I hit the feudal... Okay, these guys, I want 4 per deer. Sometimes your villagers will screw that up, and they'll, like, hunt multiple deer at the same time, like crazy people. So you gotta keep an eye on them. Alright, so this is good. If I time everything perfectly, I should be able to, when I get to the feudal age, I should be able to build a blacksmith and market almost immediately, in fact. And then, go straight to the castle age, basically. I don't need this many deer hunters. I can probably put these on something else. Do a bit of scouting. There's not much scouting to do in arena, though. Right, good. As you can tell, my resources are really, really getting there. So the idea with the fast castle age is, is you want to stay as little in the feudal age as physically possible. The Dark Age serves as a time, no matter what strategy you're doing, to set up your economic foundation for whatever your strategy is. But the feudal age serves different purposes depending on your strategy, and in this case, it's just a jumping point for me to go to the one age to the next. Always build your market with more villagers though than you build your blacksmith, and the reason being is because your market takes so bloody long to build that if you don't build it with more villagers, it's going to really slow down your castle age time. Actually, pretty lame way to have a slower castle age. If I wanted to be even extra more efficient, I probably could have just said screw it with one of these gold miners. Once I hit 200 gold, which is exactly what I need for the castle age, I could have said screw it and just not had any more. I could have just pulled off all my gold people. Okay, so now I just need a little bit more food. Ideally, if I just force drop off all the food from all my food people, like basically right about now, I should be able to advance. You can build a house. I'm like 2 food away. What is that crap? Well, anyway, that's basically how it works. I'm just waiting for that one villager to get there, and then I get my super fast castle age. Perfect. It's a little messier than I wanted it to be, but sometimes your villagers are just they're just huffing paint, man. Can't explain it. You can send these guys back to work, and there you go. That's your super fast castle age for you. And my next priority on the list is going to be double bit axe. Reason being is, after a fast castle age, you've got many things you can transition into. You can choose something like,
Yes.
You do something like knights. That's usually the standard thing, is to go into some sort of crush, as they call it, or castle age rush. It involves knights and whatnot. So you can go into some sort of aggressive strategy, you can go crossbowmen, etc., etc. There's plenty of great things you can transition into. But me, since I'm not at the edge of my team, I'm known as what's called the pocket player. He would be the flank because he's adjacent to an enemy. But in a team game, I'm adjacent to only teammates. So I'm known as a pocket. So in the pocket, you ideally want to go for more defensive strategy just because it's less efficient to rush someone in the pocket. They're surrounded by their teammates, they're easier to defend, and they're further away. So it just makes sense. So I'm going to be transitioning from this into a sort of, probably a heavier sort of booming style. I'm not going to be going for like an economic boom in the sense that I'm not going to have any eco to speak of, any military to speak of in the castle age, but I'm going to be mostly going for a sort of boom with the delayed castle age military units. And you notice I'm focusing so much on wood. Why am I floating this much wood as I'm advancing to the feudal, the castle age? That's because I want to start floating a lot of wood for all these extra town centers. The first thing I'm going to do when I hit the castle age, if I did this right, which I did, I'm going to want to put down 2 town centers ASAP, and then we'll be good to go. I can start pumping out these villagers just like no one's business. I can kill that scout probably. Alright, so this is good. This is exactly what I want. It's a very, very solid castle age time, honestly. I'm gonna delete these walls. These walls are just holding me back. And yeah, you want to place your town centers between, like, some sort of, near a forest or some sort of mineral line. I guess I have to delete that gate. I don't usually like to do the deleting my walls and stuff because it inflates my score, and score is a good way to intimidate your opponents. So if I have a really, really high score, people might be like, "Oh snap! Resonance is, he's pretty powerful right now. We better be really scared with what we're doing." But if I delete my walls like this to create more room to build, my score does go down, so we look less terrifying. The idea, it's all in the mind games. Don't forget to pull off multiple villagers, of course, to build your TCs. Your TCs build so slow if you don't do that. Alright, yeah, so I got 2 TCs coming out. I've got a bunch of villagers building each of them, and I keep heavily focusing on wood right now. This is basically everything you need to know about Castle Age and Arena and blah blah blah. You really want to prioritize your lumber camp upgrades too, so get bowsaw ASAP as soon as you can afford it. And yeah, notice how I got this town center. It's next to wood, it's next to gold, this one's next to wood and stone. That way I can get the most out of my town centers, since they serve as a universal resource drop-off point. The score basically factors in, basically everything about you. So it factors in, basically the combined worth of all of your units. There's some sort of formula, I don't know what the formula is. But it factors in the combined worth of all of your units, all the resources that you have stockpiled, and resources that you've spent in the form of technologies. So your score actually does go down, for example, when you research the castle age, but when you finally hit the castle age, it refunds you in the form of your score. Alright, yeah, so now it's just pumping villagers out at each of my town centers, while I just have them spawn on the wood line so that my villagers do not spawn idle, and then I'm going to be making just farms with them. Because I'm gonna need a lot of food to sustain my villager production, and I'm gonna need a lot of wood to sustain this farm production. Because now, you know, we don't have any more free resources, basically. And if I can minimize the amount of idle villagers I have, that's better. These guys, though, they gotta stand around while they're waiting for me to get just enough wood to repair that farm. There we go. Not bad. So yeah, hopefully this makes you guys a lot more comfortable, I guess, with this idea of a fast castle age and everything. It's a very, very staple-esque strategy. It's really important that if you want to play Aoe2 that you get this one down. But obviously, you know, there's so many things you can transition into afterward that it can be kind of overwhelming, definitely. But in this case, I'm going for a more eco-based thing. I'm going for somewhere between an economic boom and a crush, as they call it, castle age rush, in which I go into knights. So, I don't know what the hell these villagers are on. Alright, I've got enough. Basically, every time I get wood for a farm, I'm just going to make some more farms. And soon I'm going to be putting down a barracks, and I'll be going into, like, camels and stuff. And probably back up the slumberjack fellow. Looks like no one is really going for any sort of military, though, so maybe I should just go full boom. We'll find out. You just pick basically after your fast castle age, which is the kind of thing that you decide on fairly early. What you transition into is totally based on what the game itself is offering you. I'm going to put down the barracks anyway, just in case anyone needs some help. Maybe LB is going to go attack Slumberjack or something like that, but I don't know. But I'll probably just be playing more defensively, definitely. So if your castle time is, say, slower, there's a couple things that you need to keep in mind. Is one, your eco is probably not balanced right, and this also goes to your feudal age as well. If your feudal age is just slow, it's probably because you're focusing way too much on wood and minerals and the other non-food related resources. In the early game, almost everything should be on food until you start advancing to the castle age, and then that's when you're really going to need some wood. Unless you're going for some sort of feudal age rush, and then you want a lot more on wood. But yeah, for the Dark Age, almost everything should be on food, so that's a problem. Your town center might be idle if your feudal age is slow. If your castle age is slow, it's probably because, honestly, you're focusing too much on farms and not the free food resources that are made available to you. So, like, you're not hunting the deer, you're not hunting the boar, you got too many lumberjacks because you're focusing too much on farms. That's probably why. If you're really, really struggling, though, with your castle age time and you don't know what's up, it might just be because you, as you're learning, the villagers that you have in your gold might just be holding you back. So you can just say screw that, and you can pull an AI, if you will. So what the AI does is that when they reach the feudal age, when they put down their market, they will sell the 200 stone that they start with to get the necessary 200 gold to advance to the castle age. And that can really, really speed you up. That's how you get a disgustingly fast castle age. And that can be really, really nice if you're rushing somebody, for example, to catch them off guard. Because you're not going to need that stone for town centers if you're just going, like, all out, all in with those knights. So that's something to really, really keep in mind, definitely. Is that, yeah, you can just sell the stone. So hopefully you guys, after watching this video, are just a little more comfortable in your fast castle age and just gameplay in general. My hope is to make Aoe2 a more approachable game for everybody, and make everybody sort of feel comfortable. Because definitely learning this game, especially for me, was pretty overwhelming. Because there's no one really explains, I guess, why players are doing what they're doing. There's a lot of stuff going on. This game is very, very complicated, and it can be overwhelming, of course. Let's see, any sort of combat. All right, it looks like Slumberjack could use some serious help. So I'm going to start going into the military now for him. I usually like to delay my military as long as humanly possible when I'm going for a more economically focused strategy, because in this case, you know, I'm going for more of a, not like a full boom, but sort of like a half boom type thing. Because yeah, if I invest in my military, it's going to really weaken my economy, but there are, of course, times when investing in your military is the better one. Anyway, I'm gonna be going straight into camels and whatnot. Oh yeah, this is great. Again, huffing paint. Huffing paint, guys, is bad for you. Please don't huff paint. Yeah, so I'll be able to give Slumberjack a hand here. We're gonna start going into camels because this is what the Indians do. Indian camels are tanky as balls. And yeah, the nice thing about spawning your villagers onto the wood line is, again, you know, they're doing exactly what you need them to right off the bat. It's just good stuff. Alright, Alright, this is looking solid, if I do say so myself. Put another town center here, go mine some of that gold. Always prioritize your defense upgrades, by the way, on your melee units. So yeah, this is basically my tutorial on Arena for you guys, or just fast castling in general, like Castle Age Warfare. This is how you do it. I mean, I can see that he's got, you know, he's the Huns, right? So he's most definitely going cavalry archers, so camels is just the way to go. Elite skirmishers are also a good thought, and just knights are nice too, but I don't even get knights actually, because the idiots don't. So you can do that, you can do that, you can do that. If you're having issues spawning villagers from all your town centers, remember that there is the H hotkey will jump you to a town center, and the C hotkey will just create a villager. Those are standard hotkey setups, but you might have a different sort of hotkey setup, and that's fine too. It's a shame that town center is not actually built yet, so I'm going to do the standard residence thing, get housed. I'm too busy trying to provide an interesting commentary rather than say, rather than say, play my best. It appears that this is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought. I'm going to build a siege workshop right now. I need more gold, and then I should be good. So when it comes to managing your economy in general, what you want to do, what you really want to keep in mind is that you should be making villagers until producing units, whatever you're doing, doesn't really run you out of resources, I guess. That's the idea here. I can probably kill this knight for free since it's a little out of position right now. Should be kind of good. I'll get level 2 defense upgrade as soon as I can, but I guess I can't afford it, so... Go with forging. Forging is fine. I should pull back my camels, though, because I really don't have enough. I need a mangonel in here stat, which is why I'm building the siege workshop. I'm gonna take a lot of unnecessary damage, unfortunately. Let's get that mangonel out, though. Maybe a castle would really help in this situation. I'm beginning to think that. I'm beginning to feel the castle, guys. Okay. A little bit more farm action. This is looking a little grim. Oh, how is he hanging in? He looks like he's holding up, actually. So I just need my mangonel out here first to deal with his mangonel. You know, you want to really build your military units based on what your opponent is building. You want to make sure that you're countering their units. That way you're not wasting any money. Countering is super, super important in AoE. Should put a castle like... Yay, so... Keep my base relatively safe. Stupid pop-ups. Okay, now I'm gonna go kill all that crap. I don't know if his cavalry archers are still here, honestly. Okay, I can build another one of those mangonels. I don't know if his cav archers are still here. Okay, I guess they are. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, though. Alright, so we're pulling back again, despite all the lag. Good lord, my camels are not responsive. I'm gonna need a lot more guys, that's for sure. I'm probably gonna have to coordinate with the Slumberjack and only move out when he moves out. If we both engage at the same time, we should be able to keep LB under control. But yeah, what I need is like multiple mangonels. I don't know. That market's gonna die. Slumberjack should probably just let it die. I might just get another siege workshop out, honestly. It's hard to say. Maybe I'll build another gate here. Make some guys spawn faster. I need a lot more camels, that's what I need. I need to overwhelm him. And with enough defense upgrades, I should be able to deal with those cav archers, but not much of a problem. Yeah, archers are the counter to camels, but those are mounted right now, so they are actually weak to camels. And the Indian ones are quite tanky. They start with bonus armor, so they're not a bad choice. That's why I got the mangonels here. Okay, nice. He's got his own mangonels of his own. This is good. LB's gonna lose this battle just because I don't think he's got backup from anybody. And when I move out soon, it's gonna be all she wrote. Keep in mind, your town center should also be used to protect your stuff. So I'm using them to protect my farmers in the event of getting raided and whatnot. They're a great way to protect your villagers. So hopefully this answers all of your guys' questions about how to play Arena, but the idea is that, I'm building up my economy while simultaneously building up a military, and that can be pretty difficult, definitely. But that's the hard part of the game. That's what separates the good from the bad. All right, this is when he gets eaten up. He's gonna take a reasonable hit there. Yep. And now he gets routed. If the camels can get up to the cavalry archers, it's over. Yep, I was waiting for that. I knew he'd move out at some point, so that's how you get routed, sir. And the camels doing work. And now the momentum has changed. This is basically everything you need to know about Aoe, I guess. Do some scouting, a little bit of patrol in action. Yeah, no problem, Slumberjack. You're not a noob, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Not that there's any shame in being a noob anyway. We're all there at one point. Miko is looking strong, this is good. Probably should have got those mining camp upgrades earlier, but there's just so much stuff to deal with. Extra 10% gold income? That sounds like my kind of thing. I almost wonder if he's mining from this gold or something like that. It would be a shame if something happened to that. You catch my drift. Yeah, Elrond's been booming off the back of this. He's been going for a full economic boom. I've got other videos on that if you're kind of curious about how to go for a full boom. But this is like Castle Age warfare in a nutshell. Defensive castle is a great way to protect yourself. So especially if you're really not, confident in your ability to defend your base during pressure. I recommend heavily focusing on stone and just get your castle out ASAP. That's the way to do it, guys. Teeny tiny bit of lag. That's cool, though. Yeah, do not mind. And yeah, I'm still running out of resources when I'm producing guys, which means I just need more. I need more villagers. Pretty simple in that regard. Let's send the camel separately, though, so he doesn't move so darn slowly. And I want to get to the Imperial Age, like, basically now-ish. I'll be able to use the market, though, to help me advance quicker. And that's another thing, is let's say you're stuck in a feudal age war. You want to use the market to adjust your economy appropriately, so you can just get straight to the castle age. You don't want to be at a tech disadvantage for so long. And I know that LB is going to, if he's not already in the Imperial Age, I don't even remember if he's in the, no, he is, okay, yeah. You don't want to be at a tech disadvantage for so long. It makes all the difference in these games. So I'm not gonna dilly-dally here. I'm gonna go straight to the castle age. Yeah, and the reason you back up your camels with mangonels is my camels are prone to getting kited, of course, as I've said. They're prone to getting kited, but they might be really, really fast, but good cavalry archer micro and Parthenian tactics and whatnot can make them obviously very formidable, so I don't want to dilly-dally. I want, like, if he's going to take pot shots at me, I want him to risk taking a huge onager hit. And that's the real goal here. Alright, I got one fat economy. I'm going to start transitioning into the more balanced army comp rather than mass camels, because I'm sure he's going to adjust his army comp as well to sort of deal with me. I'm gonna start building some proxy crap. I think if Slumberjack moves up his battering ram, we can probably just go in and just end this. I don't think LB's got anything on this. He lost so much stuff there in that last attack. I think he's in a pretty bad position. I plan to do more comprehensive lists of tutorials and whatnot in the future. It's pretty widely requested. It is definitely a pain in the butt, though. It takes a while. I'll be doing that. Again, like I said, hopefully you guys are feeling a little more comfortable about things after this. I hope that those of you who are in the chat and whatnot or in the comments section can let me know if things are a little more clearer for you. If you're new, my goal is to make this game as easy as, I don't know, as easy as tying your shoes, I suppose. Get murder holes just in case. I think I'm just gonna start sieging that wall, honestly. Because it looks like a Slumberjack doesn't want to move out. That's cool too. I really don't mind. This is online? Yeah, this is online. I'm playing against a ton of online people. What's going on up here? Oh, Alern's not watching his guys. That's what. He's getting owned by those skirms. So this is what I mean, is like, skirmishers are crappy units, but when they counter something, they're really, really cost-effective in that regard, because they cost basically nothing. Whereas these Magdai are really, really expensive, and this is, again, why countering units is so important. As soon as murder holes is done, alright, perfect. I timed that rather well, so I can get the chemistry upgrade. I can start working on hand cannoneers to support my camels. When you're working on an army composition, what you really want to do is you want to ask yourself, like, what is my army weak to? And how do I compensate for that? And in this case, you know, my camels are quite weak to things like halberdiers and champions, just really just stronger melee units. Because again, my camels are only effective counter units. Their stats are not great on their own. So yeah, and then hand cannoneers is really going to cover this heavy melee weakness. I mean, look at what LB has. Right, LB has a ton of halberdiers. Really smart of Mayans player to go for some crossbows and help us out in that regard. You got to cover the weaknesses of your army comp. Basically, try and make an unbeatable army comp if you can. I should get the plate burning armor right off the bat. Is that chemistry done yet? Chemistry's not done yet. I gotta be really careful about pushing in here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some trebuchets or something first, and then we can seal the deal, if you will. In the meantime, I'm gonna kick back, proxy some siege workshops or something like that, move into some bombard cannons. All right, there we go. Now the pain begins. The pain train, moving in full force. All right, Jew Madbro appears to be dead as well, and it looks like we've got this side on lockdown. So yeah, this is arena. This is the Indians for you. Hopefully you guys feel more comfortable about everything. GG, Jew Madbro. GG, well played. See, look at all these halberdiers and stuff. It'd be a shame if something happened to them. You know what I'm saying? Hence, hand cannoneers. The board cannons also good solid support. And yeah, now my units have basically covered from all angles. This is good stuff. Don't forget about your defense upgrades for the hand cannoneers, though. That's how you do it. That's how you get the better of people. Now we're gonna forward your buildings, really. Like this is just basically Age of Empires in a nutshell, honestly. This is basically everything. I need some more gold though, that's for sure. Looks like Jew Madbro, he resigned, but he's still watching or something like that. So, okay, yeah, it looks like he just disconnected. That's fine though. It doesn't matter because you know he's already resigned. I could have sworn. Oh no, that's a separate mining camp. Cool. So it's like I could really use some more gold right now. Don't forget to rebuild your lumber camps as well, so that your villagers don't have to walk so far. It's all about being efficient. Remember, that's like the whole thing here. That's why you adjust your army comp, is to be efficient. You don't want to waste any units. Now I can tread that castle. Yeah. That's everything you need to know. I don't know, Breeze. Most of my mods have been working with Forgotten Empires, so can't really say that it's been broken per se, but yeah, Self-Control's got a bunch of paladins here, because, you know, paladins are pretty good against these hand cannoneers. But, you know, I'm prepared for that, again, because the hand cannoneers and camels, or hand cannoneers and just heavy cavalry in general, is just a really nice, powerful combo. It's one of my favorite combos. Rather pricey, but the units themselves, you can keep them alive. It's pretty good. Should be able to make short work of all of his guys. He's pulling back right now, that's cool too. Really don't mind. Looks like he did kill my trebuchet though, which was the goal. He focused my trebuchet. Very smart move on his part. That's not going to do anything though. Gonna make short work of all of his stuff. I mean, yeah, those rams though are going to be annoying. But again, that's why I got bombard cannons too to back this up. That's what the bombard cannons are for, is to prevent siege. Because I'm very weak to siege in this case, because they're not paladins, they're heavy camels, so their attack stat ain't great. So, yeah, that's why I got the bombard cannons to back it up, and you just want to make an army comp that really just complements all your units. I can go for Imperial camels now, this is good. And yeah, these are gonna do bupkis, honestly. Yeah, not a chance. I still got, like, no gold, though. Means I need more gold income. I'd start working on a trade line, honestly, but like this game is this match is basically over, so it would seem premature per se to invest too heavily in a trade line, but I can do that anyway. Put a bunch of markets by my castles. Don't want to put it in a super vulnerable location. It is a little far forward for my liking, but again, it doesn't really matter. This match is basically over at this point, and now it's just about sealing the deal. Can we make it happen? There's a lot of guys, though. I feel like I don't have enough backup over here, so I'm actually going to lose this skirmish, which is unfortunate. I noticed that Slumberjack is massing his guys back here, which is really bad, because that means I'm going to lose all these guys. You don't want to generally mass up your guys when there's already a force there. Every little bit can count, but you know, it's on a case-by-case basis, of course. Alright, yeah, so this is unfortunate. We'll be able to get him back. I mean, they're winning this front so hard because they're focusing really everything on Elemu. It's not a big deal. And I do have Imperial Camels now. I'm only missing a few upgrades, and I could probably start working on my trade line. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I gotta make short work of these guys, too. Mangonel support is always nice, too, to deal with those elite skirmishers, because elite skirmishers are still okay against this army composition. They're not great, but they get the job done. Does anyone have any questions about Fast Castle Age or anything, I guess? See if I can clarify something for you guys. I'm sure most of you already know, but there's always new players around, so I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. You all know what's up. Yeah, the Pussywood mod for HD, yeah, it's pretty unstable, honestly. It's a miracle that I got it to work at all. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Should the resource gathering upgrades be done ASAP? It's a very, very good question asked by Arrowfire. The answer is it depends on which upgrade it is.
Attack an enemy now.
Move out, dude.
Wait for my signal to attack.
No, we shouldn't. But whatever. Okay, well anyway, yeah, so to answer your question, Arrowfire, it depends on the upgrade. The woodcutting upgrades should be done almost as soon as physically possible. When you're advancing to the Castle Age, though, you know, you want to be focusing on getting to the Castle Age, but the moment that you get there, you want to really start pumping out those wood chopping upgrades. Like, don't get double bit axe to slow down your Castle Age time if you're going for fast Castle Age, but if you plan on staying in the Feudal Age, or the moment that you start researching the Castle Age, you should really get that woodcutting upgrade, like, immediately. But yeah, for the most part, you want to get most of your upgrades out as fast as humanly possible. Now, in this particular case, like something like handcart, you should wait on. But the ones that are at each individual camp are really important. And even if I delay them a little bit, because, you know, I've got to deal with so much crap, you shouldn't. So yeah, double bit axe, mucho important. The mill upgrade's also super important. Wheelbarrow and handcart, though, you should get when you have enough villagers to make it cost efficient. So handcart would be about 60 to 70 villagers, and then wheelbarrow is about like 30 to 40 is when it's a good idea to get it. Does fletching bodkin arrow affect gunpowder units? Peter McFarland asks. Another very good question. The answer is no. Fletching a bodkin arrow does not affect them. But the archer defense upgrades do actually affect them. So that is something to really keep in mind. These gold miners are going to do stupid things, so I'm not going to let them. So yeah, you want the archer defense upgrades. They're affected by ballistics, of course, and in the case of conquistadors, they're affected by bloodlines and husbandry of the stable. But no, they're not. They don't gain extra attack from the fletching or extra range. Yes, GG, well played, by the way. Very well played from everybody. Let's see. Yeah, self-control is playing very well this game. Really everybody was, but that was all she wrote. This is, I guess, a good example of how ELO doesn't necessarily dictate a player's skill very well, because, yeah, the teams were relatively even from an ELO standpoint, but not even at all from a sort of, I guess, skill standpoint or experience standpoint, if you will. Still got, like, no gold, so I'll just transition to things that don't cost gold, and then I'll just support them with siege units. That's what you should do when you run out of gold. Let's see, any other questions? Let's see. One of the Castle Age, Flunked Math asks, one of the Castle Age, should you research Heavy Plow, since it doesn't pay back instantly? The answer is yes, but again, that's not nearly as important as, say, Bowsaw. Bowsaw is like the kind of thing that, you know, you buy as soon as physically possible. Bowsaw just makes all the difference, and wood is so important in the Castle Age, and just in general. So yes, Bowsaw ASAP. Heavy Plow can actually wait for a little bit, because as you say, it doesn't pay back instantaneously. But you should get it relatively quickly, because it does add up. It does add up really quickly. It takes a few minutes for it to actually do something, but it takes a few minutes for it to do something, but it is really cost effective. That's for sure. Yeah, well played, everybody. There's a very strong economy from self-control here. He's playing Farming Simulator. Ooh, yeah. GG. Let's check out the achievements, shall we? You can tell Alarin has definitely been booming, because he's got a pretty fat army. Going for a full boom, like to the Imperial Age with no military, is very risky, but boy does it pay off if you don't get attacked. In his case, he didn't, so definitely paid off there. As a result, you can tell that he had a very solid economy and a very solid military. Yeah, definitely the weaker players in this match. You can tell that the problem is they're low villager high. Like that's the thing that separates, I guess, the experienced from the very experienced players. Is what you want to do is you want to make sure that, like I said, when you're creating units and you're running out of a specific resource, that just means that you need more villagers on that particular resource. So generally, that'll mean that you'll need about half your total population to be villagers. Like the half max population for this particular match was 150. This is a 300 pop game, so you want somewhere near 150 villagers, give or take about 20 or so. And lo and behold, it makes all the difference. If you don't have enough villagers, I know some people hold off on their villas because they want a stronger military, but ironically so, investing in villagers gives you a stronger military. So very important to keep that in mind. You gotta have a really strong eco, and you want to try and get there as soon as possible. Alright, so GG, well played, guys. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. If you did, there's a lot of other great videos on my YouTube channel. I also have a Twitch TV page in which I live stream regularly. We'd love to have you. And then I have a Facebook page and a Twitter page which you can follow for some information about me or to know when I'm live streaming and whatnot. Those are great ways to communicate with me, of course. So, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'll say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. And for those of you who are watching on Twitch TV, I'll be back in just a minute, so please don't go anywhere. Stick around, and we're going to play some more Age of Empires 2. I'll see you all shortly.